Okay, here's the heat exchanger put back together. Yeah, okay, laugh at my TIG joints. Anyway, I put the thing back together. It's all cleaned out. This tank is way cleaner than it used to be. Let me get a flashlight out here, if I can do that. Put a flashlight down in there. Can you guys see that? Having to hold the phone with my hand and everything else. Anyway, wash the whole thing out, put it all back together. And we got the same gauge on here. Sorry about the photography. I can't do everything here at once. That gauge is at 0. Same gauge, same vacuum cleaner, same suction hose. Now, this has been cleaned. I'm going to turn the vacuum cleaner on. You won't be able to hear anything, but you can watch the gauge, and I'll play with the inlet blocking it off to wiggle the gauge some so there's no friction, no error in it. Here we go. So if you take a look at that, you can see that you got 5 inches of vacuum versus 9. I'm going to take a sheet of plastic here that happens to be laying about. I'm going to cover the door up to see how much of a restriction I have to add to make this come up to about 9 inches again. Here we go. Okay, I got it up to 9 inches of vacuum. How much of the inlet did I have to cover? How constricted was the heat exchanger to make it come up to 9 inches? In other words, how much dirt affects our supercharger? You ready? Look at this. Can you see that? This is covered all the way to here. I'm not going to lie to you, I'm pulling it back. Let me turn this gauge around. We'll turn on the vacuum cleaner again. You can zoom in on the thing. I hate these things move around on you. This is the worst photograph I've ever done. Okay, let me turn it on again. We're going to see 9 inches of vacuum. Then I'll pull the plastic back. Well, what that tells me is that since this is just a vacuum cleaner and it's not drawing that many CFM, if I open up about 1/3 of the inlet, the pressure loss isn't significant. But I had to cover up pretty much up to 7/8 of the inlet even to get the restriction. And what does that all mean? Well, when we did the dirty heat exchanger, I had 9 inches of vacuum with the vacuum cleaner. Now I'm running 5 inches. To get up to 9, I got to cover up this much of the heat exchanger. Does that tell you that dirt affects these things? You betcha. We're going to do it again without the filter on it just to prove the results come back to about 5. Now, there's some irregularities in the gauge. This is not a high-cost setup. This is a shop vac. But I was only reading 4 inches of vacuum. In other words, I've cut the restriction down immensely just by washing the thing. Now it's all cleaned up. We're going to go ahead and give it a try and start doing some leak checking. And if my welds hold, which I hope they do, then we're going to start doing some water flow testing to prove to everybody a single-pass heat exchanger is a whole lot better. But that's my theory. I'll have to prove it. Stay tuned. Enjoy. Woody out.